Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Is the system safe today?
I believe it is, and I will tell you, we are very strongly committed to the integrity, efficacy, resilience, and all those things of this system. And people do depend on this in a big way, and we're committed to that.
Put our country into recession in order to get inflation down. Do you recall that?
Very, very well.
Are we in a recession?
We are not.
If the CFPB, if the hypothetical is the CFPB no longer exists, what would be the Fed's role right now with respect to technology firms?
We don't have jurisdiction over, we have jurisdiction over banks and some financial market utilities.
So let me ask you this, because I know there's a number of Nevadans who file consumer reports of concerns about fraud and predators with the CFPB. The Fed Reserve doesn't receive those reports, correct?
No, I don't believe so.
And you have no role when it comes to consumer protection like the CFPB does, correct?
Unless you're a Fed member bank that has $10 billion or less in assets, then we have jurisdiction.
Right.
On a
so there is a gap. If the hypothetical is true and what we're hearing that the CFPB is being shut down, there is a gap, what we're hearing in enforcement out there, and particularly when it comes to consumer protection. Is that, would you say that's true?
Yes, for all banks that we don't supervise.
And I think that's the concern we're all having right now.
Is that a wise policy?
So I guess I ought to say this. I think the standard case for free trade and all that logically still makes sense. It didn't work that well when we have one very large country that doesn't really play by the rules. And in any case, it's not the Fed's job to make or comment on tariff policy. We, really, that's for elected people, and it's not for us to comment. Ours is to try to react to it in a thoughtful, sensible way and make monetary policy so that we can achieve our mandate. Yes, I mean, let me say there was a lot of reason to be concerned about downside risk in the labor market toward the middle of this year, but really that concern has diminished significantly. The labor market's very strong. I think the evidence is, my own view, and there are many different views on this, but is that the neutral rate will have risen meaningfully, very hard to be precise about it, from what it was. It was clearly very, very low before the pandemic. It extraordinarily low, historically so. But yes, I think it's moved up, and many of my colleagues on the FOMC feel that way too.
It certainly seems that way. Has Elon Musk or members of his team, to your knowledge, attempted to access the Fed's protected data and systems? Yes or no?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Okay, so will you commit to report to this committee, majority and minority, immediately should you become aware of any such attempt by Elon Musk or Doge to pierce the Fed's independence or to access its protected systems?
Yes.
Thank you for that commitment.
It's more like what you see is the risk to financial stability here.
Both banks and insurance companies are pulling out of areas, coastal areas and things like that, or areas where there are a lot of fires. So what that is going to mean is that, if you fast forward 10 or 15 years, there are going to be regions of the country where you can't get a mortgage. There won't be ATMs. There won't, the banks won't have branches and things like that. Right. That's a possibility coming up down the road. It's not that the banks will stay there and keep making loans in the face of evidence of disaster, or that insurance companies will do right policies. They can cancel those policies every year.
Right.
So I think the risk is that they just won't be there and that people won't be able to get them. That's really the issue.
And
would like to give you an opportunity, if you would like,